a Feta. All sorts of trinkets. Today's a Sunday, so it's like, I guess, the day for it. Lots of clothes. Zero interest. They usually have frituras. I think this guy's like waiting. Look at this, watermelons. Oh yeah, this is huge. This is a huge Feta. So this is just like an outdoor market. They pop out once in a while, I guess on Sunday, but this is really large. Nice BMW. Now, look at this. This is actually a train crossing. There's a little house. It's blocked off. Man, this is quite the production. Look at it. Look at the train. Nice. Nobody in there. Oh, there's one guy. That is one tiny train. Holy cow. That is so tiny. Oh, my shit won't. Why would it start? Oh my god. This thing won't start. Why? Oh my god. Now it started. Is the battery off again? I'm gonna have to look at the battery. Look at that. You have to hand crank it. That was weird. A nice road here. Crossing the mountains. If you're wondering how this thing handles compared to all the other motorcycles I've had, I've talked about this a lot, but it's surprisingly agile. And for some reason I was stuck in my head that the Africa Twin was just heavy, but it doesn't have a heavy feeling to it. It feels quite light. It feels very similar to the V-Strom 650 with just a little bit more raw power. It's not as smooth as the V-twin of the V-Strom, just because it's got fuel injection and it's got the 19-inch front wheel, which I prefer. This was a 21-inch, but imagine this. You're thinking about getting a tenere 700. You don't have the money. You get one of these. You get one of these for like 5,000 euros, and you have a bike just capable. Now, I know it's debatable. For me, I would not really want to take this off-road. That's because I don't have a lot of experience riding in crazy terrain. It's something that I never did. I'm more of a street rider, but I know that there's riders out there who ride this thing like maniacs, like little dual sports. But you know, I have a CRF 250 at home, and I prefer that for riding on, you know, dirt. It's much easier. But this one, when you ride it off-road, you get a little scared because it's so large in comparison to the CRF, but then you're like, oh man, that was actually easier than I thought. The bike itself is very capable. Portuguese are big into picnics. Look at this. Yeah, I think it's just picnicking. And this is a big Feta. Look at this. There's so many people here. This bike going into corners feels pretty stable. Now the suspension on it is very soft, and I don't know it's because of age that, you know, the front dives in quite a bit, but it has more engine braking than the V-Strom. And you know, I think I'm comparing it a lot to the V-Strom because it's similar, you know, being a V-twin and being kind of light. Now when you compare it to the Super Tenere, this bike just feels like a lightweight. I feel like you can take this bike off-road and be okay. The Super Tenere, if you watch some of my videos, like, I have gotten into trouble because it's so heavy. It feels so much heavier. But I do love the Super Tenere. I think for even around here, I would love to have that and to get similar gas mileage that this one gets out of a 1200. So there is no downside, with the exception, I think, of just the off-roading. Of course, this was a 21-inch front wheel. The Super 10 is 19, but that makes it a better bike for riding on the street, I think, and coupled with the shaft drive, that's a hard to beat combination. That would get a Africa Twin now is someone that likes the nostalgia of having a classic Paris-Dakar replica. Why would anyone get a Africa Twin like this, I believe the RD07, in 2023? Well, there's a couple of things that I see. First of all, bikes have gotten so complex, so digital, so electronic that a lot of them have malfunctions with the electronics. It's just a lot, you know, ABS, fuel injection. So there's something really nice about this bike. It's a very simple V-twin. It's not extremely heavy. It doesn't have any electronics. I mean, the electronics have failed on this, and it keeps working. So I think a lot of people, they look at new bikes and they go, oh man, it's so expensive, and do I really need all of this? And bikes have gotten heavy. You know, that's the reason the Tenere 700 became such a hit. It was an inexpensive bike like this with a 21-inch front wheel that you could take it off-road and do touring. So that bike became extremely popular. In the US, you can't even buy one at a store. It's so difficult. But now they're coming on the used market, and they're selling for about what they cost brand new, which is ridiculous. So I think the person that would get this particular bike is someone that's in the market for a 700, and they might even want this to do the exact same thing. Maybe they're not looking for the nostalgia thing, but this is a cool looking bike, and it's completely capable of keeping up with the Tenere 700. It doesn't have the newer stuff like a digital speedometer, but you don't really need it if you're touring, and this provides quite a bit of comfort. Look at this. These guys are stopped in the middle of the road. What on earth? Why would you stop in the middle of the road? Oh my God. What is going on? On a blind corner, they just stopped. Incredible. Oh my God. Are these people insane? And the thing is, you get this bike now, it's completely reliable. Completely reliable. You know what? I would even say that this is more reliable than the new bikes that are coming out. This bike is still from Japan. It's not built in Italy. It's not built in Mexico. My CRF 250 Rally, built in Mexico. This bike, and you just go and ride it. You ride it until the wheels fall off, but the wheels never fall off. So you just keep riding it, and it keeps accumulating miles. And then you burn out like a rectifier or maybe a fuel pump. So that's pretty much it. It doesn't require that much. When it comes to maintenance, the maintenance is just putting gas and changing the oil. I mean, these things have been known to run forever. It's a freaking V-twin from Honda. I mean, what would you expect from Honda? Now, keep this in mind. This bike was in storage for 10 years. I came back, changed the fuel, changed the oil, and it started right up. I mean, what on earth? It's as if like Honda is not capable of making things that are not solid.